You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
When we first went into lockdown, the family time was so lovely. It was a novelty, this great adventure we were all doing together. But as it went on, and on, and on, there were times when, seriously, we would all look at each other and say, "You again?" Welcome to Possibilities with me, Hina Khan. I've been a coach and psychotherapist for well over a decade. And after working with hundreds of clients, here's what I've come to know. The only thing holding us back from a larger, more expansive life is our mindset. I'm going to help you break through your mental barriers and unlock infinite possibilities. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I love creating these podcasts for you, and I appreciate your time. Over the next few episodes, we've got something really fun. We're going to explore what our lives could look like in a post-pandemic world. Okay, I know we're not there yet, but we are getting there. There are still many inequities we have to overcome before we can all live in a COVID-free world. Having said that, if you want to create a habit for your future self, there is no better time to start than right now. In our first episode of the Big Reset series, we looked at how we can change our mindset about money. If you haven't listened to that, you can find it in your podcast player. This week, we're focusing on how we want to shape our family life coming out of the pandemic. Oh my gosh. When I think about my family, it's almost like there were these two versions, the pre-pandemic one and the pandemic one. Now, our family was never overscheduled, but there was a heck of a lot more structure. Just the other day, do you know what the kids said to me? So my boys now are 11 and 13. They said to me, laughing, "Remember when we used to have rules around screen time?" Yeah, because we did. Pre-pandemic, when they were in school learning, there was no screen between Monday to Friday. Well, you can imagine what happened to that rule. That went out pretty quickly. And that was okay. It was actually okay because when everything started, we were in this new territory and there was something really lovely about almost loosening the structure and being together all the time. We had more meals together. We slowed down. I mean, come on, let's face it. There was nowhere that any of us had to be. And with everything closed, we went on lots of walks. Oh my goodness, so many walks. I'm going to be honest with you. The novelty wore off a bit as the months in lockdown dragged on. But even when things did get tough, I have to admit, there was always a deeper connection between us. I think that's because it forced us to choose what was really important for our family. We let a lot of things go, clearly, like rules around screen time, but we did make connecting the priority. And now the world is opening up, and I, like so many others, am asking myself, when it comes to the family, what do I want it to look like? Like maybe you realized some things too. Maybe with some reflection, you feel that your family was overscheduled. Maybe you no longer have to do every activity or be at every gathering. Maybe your priorities have shifted and you don't want to go back to the way it was. And what if that's a good thing? What if that could be a blessing? For some of you, not having to run around to everyone's house during the holidays was a breath of fresh air. There was this real liberation in not having to be anywhere. We had permission to say no. In some cases, couples have realized they actually don't want to stay together, all this time together has shown them they would prefer to be apart. The point is this: our relationships have been put in a highly demanding environment. Our usual outlets of perhaps gathering with friends, going to the gym, having a getaway, were no longer available to us. And this new environment sheds light on our relationships in a different way. For one of my clients, she had her children in so many activities. There was a lot of eating meals in the car as they went from school to different activities. When this stopped abruptly, she actually started to enjoy not having to be anywhere. And she is deciding to not put her children in as many activities as they were in before as things open up. Another client felt more distance between her and her partner. Although they were home all the time now, she felt that in many ways she didn't know him. They were so busy between work and other obligations that she realized she didn't know much about him, his dreams, and this scared her. It reminded her of what she's heard that happens to couples when they retire. They look at each other and say, "Who are you?" So in her case, they started talking more, almost catching up on the years of busyness. She certainly does not want to go back to the way it was. She wants to build on this new connection. So for you, what has this made you aware of that you would like to not invite back into your life, into your family dynamic? Do you want to go back to the way it was when it comes to your family? In my own family life, I've decided I don't want to rush around anymore. And maybe we do go back to limiting some screen time. All right, let's do an exercise to help you figure out what you want your family life to look like, because it's going to be different for everyone. And here's the amazing thing: you get to choose. Feel free to press pause, grab a pen and paper, or open up notes on your phone. Now remember, do not overthink these questions. Just go with the first answer that comes to you. When it comes to my family, I want to continue, for example, walks in nature. When it comes to my family, I no longer have room for maybe a ton of extracurricular activities. When it comes to my partner, I want to continue to have conversations about our dreams. When it comes to my partner, I no longer have room for, perhaps that's putting everything else above the two of you spending time together. This pandemic has brought us so much awareness on many of our relationships, and this is a blessing. It truly is a blessing because we can now decide what we have room for and what we don't. All right, after a quick break, we're going to practice some gratitude. You know that's my favorite, so stick around. All right, as we move into gratitude, let's think about those moments that we had during the lockdown that we really cherish. Close your eyes if you can and inhale and exhale. And now think about some of the family time that you have had that you've really enjoyed. I actually enjoyed having a quiet Christmas at home with nowhere to be. I enjoyed some of the new trails we discovered on so many of our walks. Write what comes up for you. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate that you take the time to listen to this. And remember, you and I can connect in real time in my Facebook group, Hina Success Circle. The link to that group is in the episode description. So this was part 2 of my big reset. Next week, we will release part 3, and that's all about personal and professional goals. And if you love this episode, can you do me a favor? Will you rate it or write a review? Because when you do that, it helps us reach more people. I so appreciate it. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And I will meet you here next time on Possibilities. This episode was produced by Stephanie Phillips, presented by the Frequency Podcast Network.